Maybe hard to believe, that's the last time.
You might recall last season when Fleury returned to the Berg in what was speculated could be his final time in Pittsburgh. He didn't get the start, which, after the Penguins took a lead, led to the "We Want Fleury" chant. Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't his last time in Pittsburgh, as Marc-Andre Fleury, the kid that kickstarted his career in Pittsburgh 21 years ago, the first pillar of this foursome that would bring the cup to Pittsburgh 3 times, was back in town for a final reunion in what was now actually his last game in Pittsburgh. And as you could guess, it was another emotional one, with the Penguins faithful showing their love throughout the night.
And he's got a few days here. We better be ready for anything right now. Fans chanting his name.
We also got this incredible save that gave me flashbacks to that big one he made back in 2009 Game 7 to seal the deal for the Cup, as the night was capped off with a special moment at the end of the game, which we'll get to all of this. But with him starting in what was his 1028th game last night, I had a realization. I don't think we will ever see this in the NHL again. It's Martin Brodeur, Roberto Luongo, Patrick Roy, and Marc-Andre Fleury. That's it. That's the list of not just elite French-Canadian goalies, but the entire list of NHL goalies to have ever played in 1,000-plus career games. For reference, the 2 guys in the league today that you may think of as workhorses would be Connor Hellebuyck in Winnipeg and Andrei Vasilevskiy over in Tampa. Hellebuyck is currently 31 and has played in 512 games. Vasilevskiy is 30 and has played in 485. Both very respectable numbers, but Fleury, by comparison, was already at 595 when he was just 30 years old. I truly think we could be witnessing the last goalie in Marc-Andre Fleury that will ever accomplish 1,000 games played in the NHL. And so, on what was October 29th, in a game where he faced 29 shots, he played in his 1028th game. So close. But with that, let's get into the game. Early, it was definitely the Wild getting the better looks, but after showing a tribute video for Fleury, which again was cool to see.
This is a very, very connected crowd to Marc-Andre Fleury.
I can't imagine trying to play with that emotion. Pittsburgh would shortly after get their second power play opportunity midway through the third, Glass taking a stick up high as the Penguins did what they've been good at this year. They got the early lead. Pustinen's shot redirecting off the D-man and beating Fleury through the wickets. They then got their second shortly after that. From between the hash marks, Raquel with a nice release here beats Fleury glove side to go up by a pair. And if getting 2-0 leads was all you needed in this league, we might be cup bound again, boys. But it's not. And instead, Pittsburgh, as they've been doing, began to give it up. This one, I don't even know. Lauko just somehow finds the daylight here and sneaks it past Blomqvist to cut the lead in half. Just 55 seconds later, and there it is. Freddie Gaudreau, with a great job here, fires it blocker side as the Penguins surrender another late period goal and watch their lead vanish. A brutal way to lose momentum, again heading over to the second, where it was just 90 seconds before Gaudreau gets behind Pittsburgh's D and he again would score. His second of the night, as the former Penguin would give the Wild their first lead of the game. And while the Penguins did show some fight, at least, quite literally, as Crosby and Faber would get into it along the boards, with St. Ivany off the bench says, "Don't touch my captain," and the 2 young D-men went at it. And that again seemed to get the Penguins going a bit, as this one pucks loose and it went off the post. I thought it was in watching it live, but Fleury's best pal would come in clutch again. And surprise, surprise, just as the period was set to end, it's Kaprizov with a beautiful feed. Somehow just knew Zuccarello was going to be there, and with another late period goal, it was 4 unanswered, as I don't even know anymore. While the Penguins did get one back 3:36 into the final frame, Raquel with his second of the night redirecting his 6th of the year, that's when Fleury shut things down, fighting this one off from the slot. Then with 2 to go now, rebound, and this one got cleared just in time before Raquel for Eller, and there it is. A classic Fleury save. He comes across and shuts the game-tying chance down. Fitting, as doesn't this just remind you of that one from back in 2009? After that, the Pens would pull the the goalie, the Wild would continue to shut them down, and with 20 seconds to go, Kaprizov would cap things off with an empty netter as they, along with Fleury between the pipes, would take it 5-3. And again, it was just a great scene in PPG. Fleury would get the first star of the game, with Sid and Letang staying out to send him off as he would go take his final lap. The end of this era is really starting to kick in as a Pens fan, but I'm glad Fleury got to play in this one and got a proper send-off this time, as I wish him truly all the best. That's about it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you in the next one.